One of the most dramatic arrests in recent Nigerian criminal history just played out at a hospital in Auchi, Edo State. And the way it happened is the kind of story that sounds too perfect to be true, but is absolutely real. On Saturday morning, February 8, 2026, at around 9 a.m., two suspected kidnappers walked into the specialist hospital in Auchi with their sick children seeking medical treatment. They had no idea that the very doctor whose life they had destroyed just weeks earlier was working in that same hospital. When Dr. Ibrahim Babatunde walked into the ward to attend to patients, he looked up and his blood ran cold. Standing right in front of him were Idris Abubakar and Sani Abubakar, two of the men who had kidnapped him, murdered his younger brother, and collected 50 million naira in ransom from his family. The doctor immediately alerted security, and within minutes, both suspects were in handcuffs. Let us take you back to where this nightmare began because the full story is even more heartbreaking. On January 2nd, 2026, at around 7:30 in the evening, Dr. Ibrahim Babatunde and his younger brother, Dr. Tahir, were at their residence on City Pride Road in the Igbira camp area of Auchi. They had just returned home and were opening the gates to their compound when armed men suddenly emerged from the shadows, grabbed both of them at gunpoint, and dragged them away. The kidnappers took them into the forest and immediately began making ransom demands. 3 days later, on January 5th, the family received the most devastating news imaginable. The body of Dr. Tahir, a fresh medical graduate from Ambrose Ali University in Ekpoma, who had just completed his training and was preparing to start his housemanship, was found near Orley River along City Pride Road. He had been killed by his abductors. The family was shattered, but they still had to focus on saving Dr. Babatunde, who was still in the hands of the kidnappers. The criminals demanded an enormous ransom, and the family mobilized everyone they could reach. According to the victim's father, family members, non-governmental organizations, friends, and well-wishers all contributed to raise the money. The ransom was paid in two separate tranches, 20 million naira first and then 30 million naira, totaling 50 million naira. On January 15, 2026, Dr. Babatunde was finally released. He had survived, but he was traumatized and he had lost his beloved younger brother. One of the vigilantes who had laid an ambush for the kidnappers before the doctor's release later told the family that during the rescue attempt, one of the suspects sustained gunshot wounds. The doctor himself was brushed by a bullet but thankfully survived and was taken to the hospital for treatment. If you are watching this video and you want to stay updated on stories like this that show both the worst and the best of what happens in Nigeria, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Your support keeps us bringing you these critical updates. Now, what the kidnappers did not know was that the Edo State Police Command had been working tirelessly behind the scenes to track them down. On February 3, 2026, police operatives from the Auchi division conducted a routine bush-combing operation in collaboration with local hunters and vigilante groups at Warake Forest. Acting on credible intelligence, they intercepted a suspect named Saminu Kawujie. A search of the suspect led to the recovery of 2 knives, 2 mobile phones, 1 UBA ATM card, and 20,250 naira in cash. An identification parade was conducted at the police station, and Dr. Babatunde confirmed that Saminu Kawujie was one of the men who had kidnapped him. But the police were not done. They continued following leads, and that is when fate intervened in the most unexpected way. On Saturday morning, February 8, 2026, the divisional police officer in Auchi received intelligence that some of the suspects might be at the specialist hospital. He immediately mobilized operatives to the hospital, and when they arrived, they found Idris Abubakar and Sani Abubakar there with their children who were sick and needed medical attention. Hospital staff confirmed that Dr. Babatunde had walked into the ward, seen the 2 men, and immediately recognized them as members of the gang that had abducted him. According to the police spokesperson, ASP Eno Ikwedem, Idris Abubakar was specifically identified as the person who received the 50 million naira ransom for the doctor's release. A video that went viral on social media shows the 2 suspects sitting in handcuffs inside what appears to be a police charge room, while a voice in the background identifies them as the kidnappers. The Edo State Police Command has assured the public that investigations have been intensified to dismantle the entire organized criminal network responsible for kidnappings in Auchi and its surroundings. What do you think should happen to these suspects? Should they face the full weight of the law, including possible capital punishment for murder, or should there be room for mercy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications.